Welcome back to our series on computer science and software engineering. We like to dig into these surprising challenges that developers face, and today we're tackling one that might raise a few eyebrows. The high heel problem in video game development.
Oh yeah, this one's fun.
It sounds a little, well, frivolous at first glance, right?
Right.
But trust me, the technical stuff behind those stylish shoes, it gets really complex.
Oh yeah, it's deep.
We're going to be looking at an article by Simon, a game developer. He really breaks down the nuts and bolts of this issue. And just to be clear, strictly from the technical side, no ethical debates here.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of how even like a tiny detail can turn into a huge headache for developers.
Exactly. So let's break it down. The high heel problem, it's not just about how things look.
No.
When you change a character's shoe height, even a little bit, it messes with tons of stuff in the game. Animations, interactions, you name it.
For sure.
Simon talks about how these height differences can cause all sorts of problems, and he uses Dragon's Dogma 2 as like a case study.
Yeah, in Dragon's Dogma 2, they have to figure out how to make characters with different heights kiss.
Oh, interesting.
So they use a bunch of little animation tweaks and some really clever camera work to make sure their lips actually meet, no matter how tall they are.
Wow, I never even noticed that while I was playing.
It's subtle.
But it makes you think about all the other interactions, right? Like, what about something as basic as pushing a button?
Well, that's where it gets really tricky.
Yeah.
If a character's hand is in the wrong place because of their shoes, they might miss the button entirely.
Oh, right.
Or do something totally weird. And in games where every millisecond counts, competitive games,
Yeah.
even a tiny change in height from shoes can mess with their hitboxes.
They're hitboxes.
Like those invisible shapes that decide if they get hit or run into things.
Right.
Yeah, so that can be a huge deal.
So how do developers even begin to fix this? Simon talks about two main ways they approach it. One is to adjust the character's height itself.
Yep, and there are a few ways to do that. Some games, like Infinity Nikki, they just kind of cheat and make the character taller.
Okay.
And it kind of works because the interactions in that game aren't super precise. But even Infinity Nikki has problems sometimes, like clipping issues during certain animations when the character's wearing heels.
So it's like the hope for the best method?
Pretty much, yeah.
But what if you need it to be really, really precise?
Then it gets way more involved.
Mm.
Developers have to create unique animations for every single shoe height.
Oh, wow.
And that's a ton of work. Imagine animating like every movement, every interaction, multiple times just because the shoes are different.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
It's super time consuming.
Plus, wouldn't that make the game feel kind of inconsistent? Like if different shoes have totally different animations.
Oh, totally. Simon brings up GTA Online, and there's this one golf animation that only works if you're wearing flat shoes.
Really?
Yeah, it just shows how hard it is to keep things consistent when characters can look so different.
Okay, so manual adjustment is one way. What's the other option?
The other big one is using dynamic systems like IK, inverse kinematics.
IK.
IK. Yeah, it's basically a way to adjust the position of a character's limbs in real time so the animations are more flexible and look more realistic.
Okay, I'm trying to picture this.
Think of it like this. IK is what lets a character's feet move naturally on, like bumpy ground or reach for something realistically.
Yeah, got it.
It adapts.
So with IK, the hand positioning problem we talked about could be solved.
Exactly. No matter what shoes you're wearing, your hand could reach that button thanks to IK. It can also handle even more complex stuff, like characters holding hands when they're different heights.
Oh, wow.
IK can make their hand positions look right, no matter what.
That's pretty amazing.
It's powerful, but it's not perfect. Since it relies on, complex calculations happening all the time, it can cause glitches. Or like sometimes you get these weird unintended animations, especially in really fast-paced action scenes.
So it's a trade-off, like most things.
Yeah, definitely.
So we talked about adjusting the character's height, which seems like a ton of work. Are there any other ways that developers tackle this problem?
Oh, yeah. There are some clever workarounds out there. Instead of actually changing the height, they try to make it look like the shoes are different heights. One trick is to just hide the feet inside the shoe design. Makes the legs look shorter without messing with the character model.
Ah, sneaky.
Right. Most players wouldn't even notice.
What other tricks do they have?
Another one is shortening the lower leg mesh of the character model.
The mesh?
Yeah, it's like the 3D model of the leg. Games like Sims 4, Watch Dogs Legion, and Cyberpunk 2077 use this.
Okay. But wouldn't that make the proportions look weird, especially around the ankles?
It can. Since the ankle stays where it is, shortening the lower leg can make it look kind of distorted, especially when the character's moving.
I see.
Final Fantasy XIV has this sometimes. Characters in certain high heels, their legs look a little warped.
Right, right.
It's a tough balance between getting the right height and keeping things looking natural. Narrow Automata is interesting, though. They have a character who always wears heels.
Oh,
Yeah, so since the model was built with heels from the start, the proportions look a lot more normal and you don't get those weird distortions.
that's a really clever solution.
Yeah, it shows how the character design can actually influence the technical stuff.
Totally. Are there any other workarounds that you've come across?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Some games, let's just say they get a little creative.
Created how?
For instance, 3D Sex Villa 2, they just bends the character's legs during kissing scenes to make their heights match up.
They what?
It sounds silly,
It does.
but it actually works surprisingly well, and it saves them a ton of animation time.
But you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Exactly.
So we've been focusing on height, but it's not just about how tall the character is. What about their posture? High heels change how you stand, right?
You're absolutely right. High heels change everything. They tilt the pelvis, arch the spine, make the calf muscles work harder.
Right, right.
It's a whole body transformation, and to make it look real, the character model needs to reflect that.
So it's not just about longer legs, it's about those subtle changes and how they hold themselves.
Exactly. Simon actually did this experiment where he added these postural details to an existing zombie walking animation.
A zombie.
Yep, a zombie. And it worked. He gave the zombie the tilted pelvis and arched spine, like someone wearing heels, and it made a huge difference in how realistic it looked.
That's amazing. You know, it's those little details that really pull you into a game.
For sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of details, Simon also pointed out this thing in Cyberpunk 2077, where the foot pose actually changes when you switch between different types of shoes.
Seriously.
It's tiny, but it shows how much effort they put into making the characters believable.
That's impressive. But
Ah.
speaking of believable, what about the animations themselves? I mean, walking in high heels is different, right? So do they make separate walk cycles for characters in heels?
Most of the time, no. It's just not practical to create custom walk cycles for every single shoe.
Right.
So even if your character is rocking stilettos, they're probably using the same walk animation as they would in sneakers.
So it's all about creating an illusion that's good enough without getting bogged down in the tiny details.
Exactly. There are some exceptions, though. Simon found a Skyrim mod that actually adds unique high heel animations, and it makes the walk much more exaggerated and stylized.
Interesting.
But it shows how much work goes into making those custom animations.
So it's a lot of effort for a subtle effect.
It can be. And the funny thing is, normal walking in high heels isn't as different as people think.
Really?
Yeah, everyone walks differently anyway, even in flat shoes. So it's not like everyone suddenly turns into a runway model when they put on heels.
That's a good point. So they're trying to find a balance between realism and practicality when it comes to these animations.
Exactly. A good example is Infinity Nikki. They don't have separate walk cycles for different shoes, but they do have a bunch of idle poses that change subtly based on the shoes.
Okay.
It's a simple way to add some variety without going overboard with custom animations.
That's smart. But all these animations, all these detailed models, they must take a toll on the game's performance, especially with those high polygon shoe designs.
Yeah, that's where optimization comes in. It's all about making things run smoothly.
So do they just make the high heels lower resolution, like fewer polygons?
It's a little more complicated than that. One common trick is to hide the polygons that are covered up by the shoe.
Makes sense.
If you can't see them, why waste processing power on them?
Yeah, it's like a little virtual shoebox hiding all the extra stuff.
Exactly. Some games, like Saints Row, they actually build the leg in pieces that can be hidden or shown as needed.
Oh, that's clever.
So if you're wearing boots that cover the whole lower leg,
Yeah.
those polygons just disappear.
Saves processing power.
Yeah.
Cool. Does Watch Dogs Legion do something similar?
It's a little different. They use a single mesh for the whole leg, even the toes, when the character's wearing heels.
Even if you can't see the toes.
Yeah, but when they switch to flat shoes, the leg splits into multiple meshes, and the toes actually get removed to save on polygons.
So they add polygons for high heels and remove them for flats. That seems counterintuitive.
I know, right? But there's probably a good technical reason for it. Then you have Cyberpunk 2077, which just keeps it simple. They use the whole leg mesh, even with boots that cover everything.
So every game has its own approach.
Pretty much. But optimization isn't just about what you see, it's about what you hear, too.
Oh, right. The sound.
Different heels should sound different when you walk or run. It adds to the realism.
You wouldn't want stilettos to sound like slippers.
Exactly. Cyberpunk 2077 actually does a great job with this. They have unique footstep sounds for all sorts of shoes. It really makes you feel like you're walking in them.
That's a cool detail. But are there any downsides to having realistic high heel sounds?
Well, in competitive games, it could be a problem. Louder, more distinct footsteps could give away a player's position, which wouldn't be very fair.
Ah, I see. So it's a balancing act.
Yeah, developers have to think about that carefully.
Wow, I never would have thought about that. It's amazing how something as simple as shoes can have such a big impact on game development.
It really shows how complex and interconnected all these systems are in modern games.
Totally.
Every detail matters.
This has been really eye-opening. I never realized how much thought and technical skill goes into putting high heels on a video game character.
It's way more than you'd think.
It's incredible how developers find these creative solutions to problems that most people wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, they're problem-solving ninjas.
For sure. So we've talked a lot about the technical side of things, the animations, the models, all that. But what about the actual gameplay? Does wearing high heels affect how a character plays?
Or definitely. It all goes back to those hitboxes we were talking about earlier.
Right.
In competitive games, you need everything to be super precise.
Yeah.
Even a tiny difference in height from shoes can give one player an advantage, which wouldn't be fair.
So a character in high heels might be easier to hit because their hitbox is bigger than it should be?
Exactly. Or someone in flats might be harder to hit because their hitbox is smaller.
It's like having an invisible shield or being a smaller target.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Developers have to be really careful about this to make sure the game is balanced.
I bet.
They might need to adjust the hitbox sizes manually or even come up with special gameplay mechanics to compensate for those height differences.
Wow, it's a constant balancing act.
Absolutely. And it's not just about competition either.
Okay.
High heels can also change how a character moves and what they can do in the game.
How so?
Well, in some games, wearing heels might make you slower or less agile,
Makes sense.
but in others, they might actually make you faster or give you special abilities.
Interesting. So those shoes really can have a big impact on the whole game.
For sure. It just goes to show every little decision in game design can have these ripple effects you wouldn't expect.
It's amazing how much thought has to go into every detail.
It's a testament to how creative and skilled these developers are. They're always thinking about stuff we don't even realize as players.
This whole deep dive has been really eye-opening. It's incredible how much work and problem-solving goes into something as simple as putting high heels in a video game.
It's way more complicated than it seems on the surface.
Absolutely. It's a perfect example of how computer science and software engineering are used in these unexpected and really fascinating ways. I'm with you on that.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We've explored the high heel problem from every angle.
We have, from the animations and models to the gameplay and even the sound design.
It really shows you all the challenges and creative solutions that go into making video games.
It does. Before we go, we'd love to hear from our listeners.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you ever noticed anything weird or funny about shoes in video games? Or any other little details that made you wonder how they work behind the scenes?
Share your thoughts with us on social media or leave a comment on our website.
We love hearing from you.
And until next time, keep exploring the amazing world of computer science and software engineering.
You never know what you might find.
It's been a wild ride, hasn't it? I mean, who knew high heels could be so complicated in video games?
It's mind-boggling, really. You'd think it's just a simple shoe, but there's so much going on behind the scenes.
It's like a whole hidden world of technical challenges and clever solutions.
Exactly. And it really shows you how creative and resourceful game developers are.
Absolutely. They're always coming up with new ways to make things look and feel right, even if it takes a lot of work.
And even if most players will never even notice the difference.
Yeah, that's dedication. But I think that's what makes game development so fascinating, right? It's all about pushing the boundaries and creating something truly immersive.
Definitely. And there's always something new to learn and discover.
Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive into the high heel problem.
Yeah, I think we've covered just about everything.
We've explored the technical side, the workarounds, the impact on gameplay, even the sound design.
It's been a fun journey.
I agree. We hope you enjoyed it too. And if you're interested in learning more about the amazing world of computer science and software engineering, well, you know where to find us.
We'll be back with more deep dives into the surprising challenges and solutions that shape the technology we use every day.
Until then, thanks for listening.
See you next time.